Hello. Today I am back with another tier list. This time I'm going to be ranking furry visual novel characters based on whether they're Kiki or Bouba. So, for those who don't know, the Kiki Bouba effect, Kiki Bouba experiment, it was a linguistics experiment that was done where linguists showed people these two shapes, this spiky one and this more round one, and asked them to decide which one was Kiki and which one was Bouba. And it might seem pretty obvious, okay, the spiky one is Kiki, the round one is Bouba. But overwhelmingly, across cultures, across languages, people chose the spiky one to be Kiki, the round one to be Bouba, which shows that there is some sort of connection between the sounds of words and shapes that is maybe implicit or is cross-cultural. So it might seem like a pretty simple experiment, but it actually is a pretty big deal because it proves something that, again, might seem simple on face value, but it's actually really important. But today we're going to be comparing that same principle to furries, like slay. So to start off, we have David, and I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing to rank these. I'm not sure exactly what criteria I'm doing, but I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out along the way. But I think for David, I think he's going to be Kiki. I don't know, something about him just, it speaks to me. Kiki, David, it makes sense. It makes sense to me. I'm also going to put Marcus there as well, partly because he has a K in his name, and it's my tier list. I can do what I want. But also because he kind of has an abrasive personality a bit. Maybe that's not the exact right word, but he certainly has his rough edges, just like the Kiki shape. So yeah, I'm gonna put him in Kiki. Next we have Otto and Bouba. Classic Bouba. If Otto wasn't in the Bouba tier, I'd be like, something is wrong with the universe. I sense a disturbance in the force. Why is Otto not in Bouba? So he has to go there. He's a big round cuddly bear kind of thing. And where I'm at in Chenya, I haven't seen that much of him, so if these characters' personalities or stuff are different from the way I'm interpreting it, I will figure that out as I play more of that visual novel. But right now, that's where I'm putting him. And I'm also going to put Raymond there for similar reasons. He's kind of bubbly personality-wise. He's nice. And that speaks to Bouba. That speaks to me as Bouba. Tom is also going to be Kiki, kind of for a similar reason as Marcus. Tom, again, maybe not abrasive is the right word, but he certainly has his rough edges. Has past trauma, is not some super easygoing guy. So I think he fits in Kiki. And now for Adastra characters. For Alexios, it's going to be Kiki as well. Yeah, it just, Alexios, Kiki, it just works. It just works. But also, again, he's not the nicest person in the world. Yeah, and I think that's kind of what I'm going for. That's what I'm feeling for these tiers. Kiki is more not necessarily mean, but Bouba is definitely more nice, cuddly, round. That's what I'm thinking. Which is why I'm also going to put Cassius there. I mean, look at that shoulder pad. That's practically the Kiki shape right there. It just works. He's Kiki. What can I say? Then we have Nefero, and this is one I'm actually kind of conflicted on because those ears are giving Kiki, and he certainly is not over insulting people, he's has a witty retort for things. He certainly tends to push people's buttons. So that's all screaming Kiki, but I just want to put him in Bouba. Like, I don't know why, but Bouba is kind of calling to me with him. Maybe because I just personally have a soft spot for him. So I'm like, oh, but what if he was Bouba? So I don't know. Whereas like Amicus, total Bouba. I mean, look at those Boobas that he has. Am I right? Am I right? But he just like epitomizes what I'm thinking for Bouba. Round, cuddly, friend shaped. But then we have Nefer, and I'm just like so conflicted. I think I'm going to put him in Kiki for now, but maybe that will change. Next we have Dawntide and Griff. I think I'm going to put in Bouba as well because he's kind of refined. He doesn't have those like rough edges as kind of the other characters. Yeah, he's more of a refined person. All right. Yeah, I don't know why I forgot Riley. Probably because the image, there's no sprite image for him in games, so you have to use the portrait. So I must have just forgotten. But I was like, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. What am I missing? And it was Riley. And I think we could all use Riley, more Riley, because he's a great character. So, you know what? He is there, and I think he is definitely a Kiki, because this is what I'm saying. That man has trauma. That man, he is going through it. Like, so I think he's very much a Kiki, whereas Griff, much more Bouba. You know, I'm going to keep mispronouncing it, because Boba is like the best thing in the world, and I keep thinking Boba, but it's Bouba. And so Ranzo is a total Bouba. Again, he just is so nice. He's so bubbly. He's so like, he's just perfect. He is the perfect man. You know what I mean? Just like, I need him. You know, I need him in my life. And so he's going to go in the Bouba tier. Then we have Sal. I'm not sure where to put her because, you know, she's a complicated person. And she doesn't have as much of like an easy personality. Some of the characters, it's like you get their personality like right away. You're like, okay, I know who this character is, and they still have depth. They still have personality. They have depth. They have a lot more going on to them than just like, oh, this is their personality. I'm not saying they're one note, but they certainly have a more straightforward personality, I think. And Sal is a little different than that, but I think she's giving more Bouba than Kiki because she seems a little bit more, well, I was going to say well-adjusted, but honestly, everyone in that game is, like, messed up in their own way. And she has, you know, issues with her family, all this stuff, but she's just, I think because she's, like, protective, and she maybe is not the most straightforward person. Like, she's very protective of her friends, but also she is going to do what she thinks is best. But that's, for some reason, giving Bouba to me. I can't really describe it. This is more like vibes, you know? Vibes. Then we have Chunter. And if that man is not Kiki, something is wrong with the universe. That is the most Kiki man I have ever seen in my life. And we have Carl. If that man's not the most Bouba man I've seen. I mean, like, round, friend-shaped, what more do you want? Then we have Jenna, and I'm going to put in Kiki just because she has spiky ears. And sometimes that's all you need in life. Sometimes having pointy ears is enough to be put in the Kiki tier because this is my tier list. And again, we're just running off vibes. We're running off vibes. That's what we do here on this channel. And then we have Kudzu. I'm also going to put him in Kiki just for his name because, let's be honest, again, doesn't take much to be put in the Kiki tier. All right, and then we have Leo, also Kiki, like, again, that man is a Kiki, like, need I say more? Need I say more? I do not. TJ, however, is going to be a Bouba because he's just someone you want to hug and protect. Like, he's a little uwu Christian boy, you know? And that's giving Bouba to me. So, yeah. Then we have Flynn. He's also gonna be a Kiki. I have a feeling way more people are gonna end up in the Kiki tier than the Bouba tier, if only because furry visual novel characters are like going through it. All of them are like dealing with extreme trauma. They're just like, why can't they be happy and live a normal, well-adjusted life? Is my question. But they are very much going through it. Then we have Brian, and I'm gonna put him in Bouba. His name is Brian, starts with a B. He is also kind of round. And that means he goes in the Bouba tier, but also he's like a horrible person, which is giving Kiki. Not to say the people in the Kiki tier are horrible people, but he's giving that sort of aggressive, I'm gonna kill you personality, but I have to put him in Bouba because his name and his character sprite, it's giving Bouba. Then we have Cooper. I'm giving Kiki for the also reason that he has the I'm gonna kill you personality, and that's giving Kiki, and he doesn't really have anything to balance that out to make him Bouba, so I'm putting him there. Damien, on the other hand, another classic Bouba. Like, we could all use a Damien hug in our life. Like, let's be real. Then I have Calder. Calder, Kiki makes sense to me. He's also, again, kind of mean. So, but he's also, like, refined, you know? Like, I put Griff in Bouba because he's, like, refined. And Calder is, like, from a noble family. He's used to luxury and stuff like that. Even if he's from, like, a failing noble house, like, he's still a noble. So that's kind of giving Bouba. But I think because his name is Calder, it's going to be Kiki. But if he had a different name, I think it might be Bouba. Then we have Artemy. And this is another one I'm kind of, like, very conflicted on. Because personality-wise, vibes-wise, total Bouba. Artemy Bouba totally makes sense. But also she's kind of a lightning mage who can, like, destroy you. Or a paladin. Who can just, like, obliterate you with lightning. Which is giving Kiki. Like, lightning magic, Kiki, it just makes sense. It makes sense, you know? I don't need to explain. It just, we all know. It makes sense. So I don't know. I don't know where to put him. Put her, because on the one hand, she's a lightning paladin who will blow you up. On the other hand, she is kind of naive, and she's always going to be there for her friends. She's always going to protect them, which is giving Bouba. I kind of wish I had a tier in the middle to put people. I would have put Neferu there as well, and maybe Calder. But I think, in the end, I think I'm going to put her in Bouba, if only because we don't have enough Bouba at the moment. And she is a character who's, you know, in the middle, so I'm going to lean Bouba for her. And next we have Cole, and I'm not sure on him too. Because, you know what? No, he makes sense for Bouba. You know why? He is not the most, like, physically strong person. He's not going to go out there and punch his problems. He's very indirect. He is never going to go out and directly deal with his problems. He's going to use his magic. He's going to manipulate people. He's going to do stuff like that. Dance around the issue, but he's never going to directly address it, which is giving Bouba. Kiki, they're, like, direct to the point, I'm going to kill you. Or stuff like that. But Cole is very much giving, I'm not going to address things heads on, which maybe now that I'm saying that, I might move Neferu down to Bouba as well, because he's very similar. Not necessarily the level of Cole. Like, I don't think anyone is on his level when it comes to not dealing with your problems. But Neferu also is a little bit indirect, a little bit manipulating things behind the scenes. And manipulating is not, like, I don't say that to be a bad thing. Like, but these characters are not going out and directly doing stuff. They are, you know, talking to people, putting their scheme. They're using schemes and flattery and charisma to get what they want, rather than just directly asking people or talking to them. Then we have Hamish. He's also going to be a Bouba because he is, like, protective dad. He's giving protective dad energy, and that's giving Bouba to me. Like, he wants to protect people, like, yeah. Then we have Ilya, and I'm sorry, she's literally holding a broken bottle. She's gonna stab you. She's Kiki. Like, she's Kiki. And I'm also gonna put Rainier there because, you know, he is boastful, which is giving Bouba, but also he has two swords and he's gonna stab you with his swords. But he has two swords and he's gonna stab you, so he's giving Kiki. And then we have Sid, and this is where another character I'm not sure about because he is giving Bouba with his body. Like, his body is Bouba, you know what I mean? But at the same time, he's gonna punch you, which is giving Kiki. But I think, again, if I'm putting the more indirect people in Bouba, I think he's giving Bouba because, like, he is down bad for some of these characters in this story, and he's, like, assembling his harem of people as he goes through this story. But at the same time, like, he is not making his feelings necessarily known. He's more like, oh, I'm blushing and I don't know what to do. Oh my god, how am I gonna tell all these hot men that I like them? Which, like, relatable. You know, we've all been there. But yeah, I think he needs to be a little more assertive. I feel like he may need to do that. So he's giving Bouba. Then we have Clyde. And I think he's giving Kiki. He's a weaponsmith. You know, he's gonna stab you again. Apparently that's all it takes to be putting Kiki. But like Clyde, Kiki makes sense name-wise as well. I'm also gonna put Grank there for similar reasons. His name is Grank. Okay, Kiki, Grank, Kiki. Makes sense. He has sharp, pointy armor. Again, makes sense. He's not really, hasn't been that much in the story. I haven't read the latest update, but maybe there's more to him that I am missing. But based on my initial vibes for him, he's giving Kiki. Very much Kiki. Then we have Marrow. And he's also giving Kiki. I mean, he's, again, gonna stab you. He's very direct. If he has a problem with you, he's gonna say it to your face. And then he's gonna swing his big battle axe at you. And, like, do I want Marrow's big battle axe? Like, yes, I do. But he's giving Kiki. I don't know why I said that. But Kiki. He's giving Kiki, like, totally. Yeah, so that's a tier list. I feel like, in general, I'm pretty happy with people's placements, but it's kind of hard. But that's because it's just totally vibes. Like, I have literally nothing to go off of for this. But I feel like, in general, I feel pretty good. Again, there's a few characters that feel, like, in the middle, kind of. And I feel like we have a good split. I was going to say, like, wow, I put all the Echo characters in Kiki. But no, I feel like there's a decent split between both. Yeah, I think I put kind of, except maybe Dawntide, there's more characters in Bouba than Kiki, but for the most part, I think it's a pretty even split as to where people go. Like, it's kind of half and half for the characters, which I did not, like, intend that necessarily, but I'm glad it worked out like that. So, because this is just vibes, I'd love to hear what other people think in the comments, because I could be totally off on some of these characters, and if you're like, OMG, how could you put that character in Kiki? They're totally a Bouba. Let me know. Let me know. I want to hear her. So, yeah, that's my tier list, and thank you very much for watching.